just come in at the back, I might have guessed. Right, well, as you see, we're indoors yet again. The weather's not been very kind, and I'm sitting in comfort, hoping not to bob around too much, which I imagine could be quite annoying to watch, I would think. Right, okay, so we'll see how we get on with that. No promises, I'm afraid. Let's jump straight into Parkinson's Walks family news after the housekeeping, which is, if you tuned in just to watch the film, then in order that you don't accuse me of clickbait, you hear under false pretences, if you jump forward 20 minutes, the film starts about then. Okay, right, let's see what we've got then. Ron first up, from Abandoned Railways. He wants to pass on his best wishes to Michael for a speedy recovery. Yeah, good old Michael. And he reports on his wife Deb, who's having a chemo cycle, and she had her third cycle just recently, and she was quite poorly. Only just feeling a little bit better today, taking this is a week or so back. So yeah, it must be horrible. Deb's is trying not to lose her hair, which for a woman must be pretty hard, I would think. Not so much as chaps, of course. But you're not the only one, Deb. Hang in there, you'll get there. Well done. And indeed, Michael's next up. Michael from Poland. Greetings from Poland, he says. Back home now from hospital. Well done, Michael. They sent me home the same day I wrote to you. Yes, Michael sends his comments in no matter where he is, and the last one came from a hospital bed. Michael, amazing. Oh dear. He says he's getting there slowly. Lovely to hear from all the PW family members. Yeah, we're the family channel. Come and join us. Barry, he wants to send best wishes to Michael for a speedy recovery. Good that he's home. He says, you're near my neck of the woods next week. That's Chalford. So I hope to get you some railway history regarding my house. And indeed he did. He said, I hope that doesn't put people off tuning in. No. We like that sort of thing. Paul, West Country Wanderings. So I do wish Michael from Poland a speedy recovery at home. I think the overbranch and sidings started to disappear when I was in Cornwall. Yeah, this refers now back to the film of a few weeks ago, which was the Alney Island marshalling yard. He said, I walked across the Alney Island on the Severn Way. I don't recall seeing any remains now at all. No, you've got to search for them there. When you look at what it was and where it's all gone, amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. So, carrying on with the film of Alney Island, marshalling yard. David from Spain, David from Spain. Star of the show today was definitely Telford's Bridge. What a marvellous piece of engineering that was, yeah, and so decorative, albeit when they first put it up it sagged in the middle. But still there now, so couldn't have been too bad, could it? He says the remains are always interesting to see, maybe more so than a disused marshalling yard full of weeds. Don't know there, David, I see where you're coming from. Those two rail chairs together must have been part of the point sword turnout. Yeah, I bet each one weighed quite a bit. It's also great to see the lock. Yeah, the lock that they used to bypass the weir when they had boat traffic on that arm of the Severn. It all goes t'other way now. Lionel and Mary travels. Of course they don't need a marshalling yard anymore. A giant crane leads containers onto flatbed wagons in predetermined order and off they go. Yeah, yes, they go on the road these days, don't they? Written out rail travel. I suppose the road is more flexible, especially since they cut the rail network back. Shot themselves in the foot there a bit. And Trev. Trev has sent in a comment. Good morning, Ron, thank you for today's vlog and video, he says. And he goes on to describe the marshalling yard at Alney in great detail. All the information there is wonderful, not only how it worked, but the formation of it and how it grew and how it operated. Marvellous work there. Go and read that. Wonderful. Thanks, Trev. Pete Payne. I just got back from the Isle of Man with Tanya. My 5th visit, he says. Well, what an amazing place to visit. And I dare say it compares to the West Country, but without the hordes. It's so quiet. It also boasts a lovely steam railway and a coastal electric tramway with stunning coastal views. This place is a hidden gem. Yeah, Isle of Man. So there you are. If you're thinking of holiday ideas for next year, stick that on the list and see how you get on with it. Mind you, if everybody goes, it won't be quiet, will it? Be careful there, Peter. Malcolm Richardson. Very interesting exploration, which to me captures the mixed emotions of discovering decaying railway infrastructure, the delight that so much splendid ironwork and brickwork survives, but also a certain sadness it's no longer in use, and all that signifies about the former industries, jobs and ways of life which were an integral part of it. Yeah, of course, it's not just shut down without loss to human life, is it really? Because you got all the people that used to work there who are suddenly not working there anymore. Well, amazing. Yes, you're right there, Malcolm. Engage on a shelf. Are you ready for this? Engage on a shelf. Simon says, I must go and have a look, especially for my wife. Now the small bedroom is clear, she would like a chair to sit in to read her Kindle. Now what size spanner do you think I need to borrow a couple of chairs from those rotting sleepers? I think you might have misinterpreted her requirements there, Simon, just a little bit. I'm keeping out of that. And I noticed one person that didn't keep out of it was, of course, Trev, who was up to mischief at the drop of a hat. And he said, if I get the chance, I should be down there looking for a well-rotted sleeper. Get those two together and it's trouble. Marilyn, our Marilyn, who is the Parkinson's Walks family elder sister. And she takes the role on beautifully. Well done, Marilyn. She said, it's lovely to hear all the comments from the other railway addicts. I would love to have seen trains chugging over Lantony Bridge on their way to the Alney Island. I expect back in the day you wouldn't have been allowed anywhere near the marshalling yard. No, you wouldn't. No, that was non-negotiable. She travels around us, man. You got to admire her, really. She really does not just sit there and vegetate. She's out there doing. And she said, I managed to get myself to Loughborough this week for a trip on the Great Central Railway. I just can't understand the rationale in closing it as a high-speed trains would have been ideally suited for it. There's arguments rumbling around on YouTube all the time on that, isn't it? From the outside it looks as if they had reopened the Great Central line, it would have fixed the high-speed train requirement for a fraction of the price. But, well, we've got to assume they know best. The steam railways, she says, is a delight itself, with everyone so helpful and kind. I think it's at least 10 years since we were there, but it's just timeless. And I managed to be there in time for a steam trip. Oh, and as there was a griddling car included, I had a tasty veggie breakfast. So I saved my cheese roll for later, my tea. How lovely. Yes, Marilyn always goes armed with a cheese roll. Oh, lovely, Marilyn. Well done. Donny, I never knew about these hidden historical gems or even what happened here. Ah, there you go. This collection of awesome old world engineering feats are head and shoulders above the basic Lego block structures created in our supposedly advanced times. Yeah, we always say on this channel, don't we? They built things not just to last, but to look nice as well. Yeah, something we don't do today. Yeah. Sharon, our Sharon Idol. Sharon pops in now and again, she's a busy girl. as she pops in now and again. Talking about the council removing railway infrastructure and causing floods, a similar thing happened in Loughborough. Oh, another Loughborough was it? When the local council tried to remove the raised alignment of the Great Central Railway, and their brand new council depot and industrial estate was flooded. Dear. I suspect somebody wasn't very popular there. Ah, right. Last week's film, which was Chalford. Chalford, whenever I would put a Chalford film up, it always seems very popular. People seem to love it, and yet it's little known, I suppose, outside the area. Ah. Charles Patterson from the US of A. Morning, Charles. I guess it's safe to assume, he says, based on the shot of the rails from the bridge towards the beginning of your journey, that those same active rails cross that viaduct. Yeah, of course, it is the active railway between Gloucester and London, that one. There's usually more traffic on it than there was on the days when I was filming. But that coincided with the drivers' strikes, industrial action or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, by the way, I've got carpal tunnel injuries. Compared to what everybody else is going through on this channel, that's nothing, is it really? Yeah, it means that my comments are even shorter than usual, or my replies rather. Lionel and Mary travels. Nice bit of filming, says Lionel. Mary says she knows Chalford very well, having used that route between Cirencester and Stroud. You know, Mary's, wherever I go filming, invariably Mary's been there at some point or other. Amazing. Well done, Mary. Another much travelled lady. That high wall you mentioned, this was on the canal, wouldn't it? Would that have been the edge of the canal when it was full and working? So was there some kind of dock there where that wall was? Yeah, could well be, Lionel, couldn't it? A mystery I couldn't solve at the time. More research required. Maurice Mannion. Nice to see Chalford, he says. I have many memories of the Chalford area and Chalford Hill, which is not for the faint-hearted. That's the one thing about Chalford, perhaps, which is why it's not so popular with tourists. It's either up or down and steep, and it's not just short ups either. You go right the way up the top of the valley. Amazing. He said, I used to go to the Manor School up at Eastham on a bus. The school has since been poncified. You can't say that. Been poncified. It's since been poncified and renamed since I left in the 1970s. Wow. Pete Payne. That place had a real atmosphere about it. But even now, but can you imagine what it was like in the day with all the goings on with the canal and railway? Excuse me, of course they didn't overlap by much, did they, because the railway took the canal business. Excuse me, coming to pieces. This is my usual frog in the throat session about now, and we'll get there. Yes, so Pete wants to know, can you imagine all the goings on with the canal and the railway? One thing I noticed from the old photographs there is that all the vegetation had been pared back. So it looks green and lush at the moment, but back in the day it was pretty open. Malcolm Richardson, a strenuous but enjoyable walk. Excuse me, I'm croaking. I last walked the towpath from Chalford to Sapperton Tunnel some 15 years ago, along what is probably one of the most scenic sections of the Thames in Severn. 15 years ago, yeah. They're restoring the Thames in Severn. They've made a start on it, but my gosh, they've got a long way to go. Marilyn again. Lovely Friday start at Chalford today, she says. I wonder if you succumbed to the lovely lavender tea rooms before or after. I saw them in the distance. Marilyn, you're holding on the tea rooms. Oh, lovely. Oh dear. Lovely herb scones they used to make. Oh, right. It's a lovely valley and a wonderful trip in the dark with all the lights of Chalford twinkling on the side of the valley. Not so much fun driving around and trying to find an address though, no, I bet it's not, right? Those roads are really steep, she said. Rather, Marlin. Yeah. Engage on a shelf. Simon. See, Simon, I thought Simon said that his golf channel, the hairy golfer, that he was more or less winding that down to concentrate on other things. But since then, he's still putting up one a week. Well done, Simon. He says, good morning, Ron. That brings back memories. Working in that area as an apprentice. Good grief. That is a long time ago, he says. 81 weeks to retirement. Not that he's counting. Michael, greetings from Poland. A delightful walk along the canal. What interesting buildings we passed. The glimpses of the viaduct were superb. Victorian engineer at its very best. Yeah, well, I wasn't very happy with the result of that film, to be honest. It was a nice visit to the area, but it didn't really achieve the objective, so I went back and did it again. So that will be coming up soon, very soon. Now, we've got a comment here, but no name, we've only got a tag, unfortunately. And we do like names on here, don't we? But I thought I'd read it out anyway, because it says, I think you should do a part 2 for this stretch. Well, it'll be a part 3, because I've already done a part 2. If you go farther up the Frampton Road, where it goes under the railway, there is a viaduct that you may well get very excited by, and I do get excited by viaducts. Yeah, I think I've seen it many years ago. Yeah, so I must do that. Yeah, I will. And we'd love to have your name, then we can give you credit for the information. Give us a name. David from Spain. I thought there was no easy way onto the track bed, but of course rail map tells me this is an active line. Yeah, of course it is, yeah. What rail maps also indicated was a small network of industrial tracks for servicing Bliss Mills, which do not appear to have been connected to the main line. These look like they've disappeared under the industrial estate. Well, if they're not building industrial estates, they're building houses on it, aren't they? Amazing. Apparently one building still remains of what was a significant stick and umbrella manufacturing site. A stick and umbrella manufacturing site. Amazing, amazing. Like Oliver and Stan, you really were on the trail of the Lonesome Pine. No sign of the Blue Ridge Mountains anywhere though. Barry. Ah, yeah. I remember Barry warned us that he was going to give us lots of information, and indeed he has. He said, my compliments to your superb film. A few miles or so from Chalford on the same line, at the convergence of 5 valleys, the town of Stroud railway station was built in 1845. And Barry goes on to fill out all the history of the area and give us an update, and also tell us a little bit about where he lives, which has got a very good historical background, well worth a read. So if you'd like to go back into the comments and get on to Barry after you read Trev, or before you read Trev, and read that information. It's fascinating stuff. Thanks, Barry. Very good. Right, that's that for this week. Now, archive film coming up in a few seconds' time. Everybody's been on their holiday to Cornwall and on their way back. Now we'll go down and have a look round then. So we'll go for a walk in Cornwall next week. And then after that, Chalford 2. As I say, I wasn't happy with that film. It just didn't seem to get to the objective. So a little while later, I went back again, a few less leaves, and had another stab at it. So we'll have a look at that and see whether you think it's an improvement or not. Hopefully it's a little bit of an improvement. Right, okay, well I'm finished rambling and muttering on. So I'll see you next week at Chalford. Don't be late. Soft morning light, Monday. This will be a walk day then. Just you and me. Pauline's gone to the Camel Estuary, patchwork club, group, whatever. It's just you and me. November walk. All, covered up, ready for the temperatures. We're doing the Headland walk, stepper walk. Gorgeous. Should be good. This is the plan. Start in Padstow, cut across here, cut across country to the coast there. Follow the coast around then to that bay there just before the headland, cut across and then follow the estuary back to get back to Padstow. Simples. It's creeping up behind us. That looks a bit ominous, wouldn't you say? Sunshine here. Well, our next objective is to get up there. Somewhere. If we don't hang about, we might get home in the dry. It's a possibility. Good walk. Hope you enjoyed it. Home in the dry. If you enjoyed it, join me on the next one. I'm now going to go and put the teapot on. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, you could hit the subscribe button and I'll let you know if anything new is coming up. Doesn't cost anything. Or you could hit the like button or go raving mad. Leave a comment.